Hey guys, Omni here. We are back for episode 4 of Halo the series. The last episode ended with Chief Halsey and Cortana heading on a mission to John's home planet to try to uncover the secrets from his past that might lend them some clues as to what this artifact is that they've recovered from Madrigal. Speaking of Madrigal, Soren, Kwan, and the Covenant's Blessed One appear to be on a crash course for Madrigal at this point. Kwan was able to convince Soren to come help her, at least take her back to her planet to kind of stand up against Burn Gorman as this character he's playing back there, who's kind of taken over the leadership role on that planet in place of her father and the Resistance, and kind of fusing with the UNSC. And she's not all about that. But we had the Blessed One. I think her name's McKee from what I've read, but we have not heard that in the show, so I hesitate calling her that. She hijacked one of the UNSC's freighters, and before she could get through it, the Cole Protocol kicked in, and they deleted all reference to any other installations, colonies, or anything like that. And the only thing that she could figure out was to head towards Madrigal, and I think that's where we left off with that one, because that's where the artifact was found. So the Covenant at least knew where that was, so they want to go back there and retrace their steps, I believe. So we'll see where that goes. Really interested to see where things kind of pan out with this, because they are definitely kind of shaking up some of the traditional dynamics of the show, particularly John and Cortana's introduction, as well as Cortana's kind of role, at least from how Halsey has been presenting it so far. So I'm definitely I don't know. I don't know what to expect with the show, man. So I kind of like it. So we'll see where it goes. I really like the last episode. But yeah, that said, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump into things. So if you're part of the 62%, we actually dropped down a little bit. So thank you guys for subscribing. But if you're part of that 62% that are watching the channel, you're not yet subscribed, or maybe you're just tuning in here for the first time, I really hope if you enjoyed this reaction, you stick around, you hit that subscribe button, and maybe, just maybe, leave me a little like. I would really appreciate that. That said, if you want to see the full-length unedited reaction to this, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, it gets you access as well. It's one of the ways you can help support us over here, help us work towards expanding the types of reactions that we do, as well as improve the quality of these reactions. Along with the reactions for this show and all the other ones that we cover here, you also get full-length movie reactions that you guys get to actually suggest and then vote on what we add to that list every month. We got monthly Q&As, behind-the-scenes footage, trying to make it worth your while, since you guys are kind of going out of your way to support the channel, and I do really appreciate that. But I also know that not everybody can do that, and a simple way you can help us out is just by liking, commenting, subscribing, because it really does give us an edge up on that YouTube algorithm. That all said and down the way, guys, let's go ahead and hop into episode 4, Homecoming. Here we go.
Of all the young Spartans, I believe that you have the skills and the natural ability to be their leader. You're going to save all of us.
I would have liked to have seen the coin flip.
Master Chief, we're 17 minutes out of Eridanus II. Where will we start our search for the second artifact?
Ooh. I like the slip space look. Alright, we're here. We're back.
When I first escaped the Spartan program, I had no memory of anything. My mind was wiped completely.
Did the memories ever come back?
Bit by bit. It was a year before I remembered that my father died. Another year before I remembered that I was the one who killed him.
Kai, what are you doing? Nothing. Have you?
Did she take hers out?
You okay? Fine. Yeah.
Oh, I think she did. She saw him do it, and she's like, yeah. A full-blown fucking Spartan revolution. At least as far as his team goes right now. 2 more to go. This whole thing used to be a dome, right? been completely decimated.
Only 6 Reach for Life installations survived their pilot stages. This was one of them. This colony was led by your parents. They were heroes. Just like their son.
That's my house. There was a clear line of sight. From where my father dug the hole to the balcony. Let's start digging.
They are like nervous about what he's gonna remember.
You couldn't get us any closer.
You may be paying the bills, but we're gonna do this my way. I made a promise to John to keep you safe, and I plan to honor it.
Dude, I love Burn Gorman. Well, like, he just looks like he's thriving in this shit.
Wait.
Kwan, come to the memorial tonight for your father. Stay safe.
Hey, kid.
Oh shit. That's great. There's something so like innocent and childlike about this, and I don't know, it makes me smile. I just can't help it. Something as simple as that, man.
Hello, Spartans. Thank you for coming.
This is the object Master Chief and I saw in the cave in Madrigal. Is that what this is all about?
I need to see how the object reacts to you in order to determine what, if anything, makes John so special.
He's the Master Chief.
Yes, he is. You right there, Kai-125?
Yes, ma'am. 100%.
Curious she is.
Found something. The artifact?
It's gonna be his dog in a crate. Oh,
Drawings.
it's all of his doodles.
I don't
A
recognize
ring.
this one.
They're all identical. I think we should head back to the ship and we can analyze the drawings there. John?
He's not taking orders.
This is all my father gets.
I don't know. Part of me feels like she's been living a little bit of a bubble. She thinks maybe the resistance is larger than it actually is. I don't know.
The people are frightened. All they want now is protection from the Covenant.
And Finch is offering that?
Yes.
You're a traitor! All of you! My dad fought and died so you could all be free. And now you stand and pray and you claim to honor him, but you're all cowards!
Look what you've done.
Let's go.
Kai-125, you're up next.
What if it's the pellet? The suppression of their emotions?
Is there anything wrong, ma'am?
Your hair? Did you do that to yourself?
Yes.
Great.
You don't care for us. You see us as machines. But if you really want to understand how we work, you're gonna have to dig a little deeper. Wait! Any other tests?
Okay, so it's not that. Okay, never mind. Whew! I definitely thought they were setting up for her to actually trip it, but she didn't. So there, yeah, still something John's got that the rest doesn't. But I like that. I like that challenging of the perception of the Spartans and kind of Miranda's, what would you call it? Prejudice, assumptions. Gosh, she's so nervous to be in here. And for him to be in here.
There's no telling what kind of frightening and jumbled images might emerge from your past. Remember, not everything you recall is reflective of real events. Okay.
She's still trying to gas him a little bit. Whatever you remember doesn't necessarily make it real.
Cortana? I'm not seeing it.
Restricted.
I'm sorry, John.
She's
I'm
blocking
afraid there's
it.
Too much destruction.
He's just trying to remember. Oh, he's just having a full-on trip.
We're creating new life, John.
See, I thought maybe Cortana was restricting his ability to go that way, that she had the data but was just trying to, you know, follow their agenda and keep him locked out of certain things. But no, I think it was, I don't know, I think she legitimately couldn't reconstruct it at this point.
Can I see it?
What the hell? Ring. The circle again, with the lines coming off of it. I mean, a lot of human colonies and a lot of random planets have Forerunner installations, so... A key here on Eridanus and one on Madrigal. 2 pieces of a single whole. Wonder whatever this was. Maybe touching this is what gave him the ability to do his due with the artifacts.
Correct again? That's 10 in a row. Should we try again?
Yes! Not exactly how it went down, but still love it. I love this so much.
Eagle up.
Well, aren't you the lucky one?
I was just talking about that earlier too. Oh shit! Wait, this is what?
Actually, I think
This is what Halsey doesn't want him to see.
Can I see
Fuck! It took me a minute to realize that.
Yeah.
John, are you alright?
Oh, he was snapped out of it maybe before some critical information happened. No, that's all he needed. That's all he needed. Because she was here prior to the destruction. Her story has already been broken. Alright, we'll see where this goes. Hunter worms.
Appears to possess a unique quality
Dude.
not shared by the...
It's crazy, like, to think about the scale of some of the weapons, like the needler
It's my favorite
in the hand of...
weapon.
Can you put that down, please?
It's all right.
I know what a needler is, Kai.
Dude, and the carbine in the back.
Another word for it. What is it again? Repos. Oh yeah, that's it. Repos.
How do you know that?
Well, that's what they say when we turn it on them. Though I guess it could just mean...
Shit. Holy shit.
Also correct.
Can you say that again, the Covenant word for needler?
Repos.
What other Sangheili words do you know?
It's gonna help her complete her cipher, maybe, for their language. Are they scrapping his ship? Yep.
What the hell?
What the hell?
My ship and going home.
My aunt.
We need to see my aunt. She's the one who controls the family money.
You need me, Venture?
Not me, my dear. The UNSC and the people of Madrigal. I need her removed before she rouses the rabble.
Who?
Kwan Ha. She brought someone along for protection. Soren.
He knows about Soren.
This must be done quietly and discreetly. This requires a professional.
You want me to handle it?
All right. We're gonna have an assassination attempt.
Kwan, I'm switching. I heard the rumors. Kwan, you should not have returned.
6 new alien intonations. I can't believe we didn't do this years ago.
Well, due respect, ma'am, this is the first you've spoken a word to us.
I warned you. Triggering memories from your past would destabilize you. We need to get you home. So we can study the
I
drawings.
saw you. In my house. My parents were still alive. Why were you here?
Hello, Kwan. What are you doing here?
Cleaning up your father's mess, as usual.
Hey! Pa! Jesus, though. Holy shit, that was wicked.
Let's go.
He looks so goofy with that helmet and that armor set. It's like when you're just playing an MMO and you're just you equipping whatever you have and just none of it goes together. That's Soren.
I know that you report directly to Halsey, but can we just keep this between us? At least for now, until they figure out what else is.
No problem.
Just convinced there's something out there just beyond our reach.
There it is. Reclaimer.
Kai, your act of rebellion could just be a glitch. She doesn't tolerate glitches.
If zoomed in on the AI slot on his helmet, which serves no purpose as far as we can tell right now, because it is just shoved right in the back of his skull. Again, it's a pretty solid world-building episode right there. Again, kind of setting up the universe, the way UNSC views the Spartans a little bit more. I really liked all the stuff with Kai. I really did. I was like really taken with all of that. I liked every scene she was in. Just seeing her like innocence, like feeling for the first time, similar to John when he was walking through just the town, observing social interactions. I just really liked that. And just kind of her like impulses, you know, when she saw the color of the grease for her gun, she was like, pretty? And I don't know, it was just really endearing. Soren cracked me up in this episode quite a bit. Kwan continues to be frustrating as all hell. I get where she's coming from, but it just, I don't know. Her story is interesting, to say the least. I don't know. I have no idea what they're doing with it, especially with this whole, like, your father actually didn't start the insurgency because the insurrection, the rebellion for freedom, he found these mystics and it was his mission. He believed in that it wasn't, he was fighting for something completely different. I don't understand what they were trying to say. I don't think we're meant to until Kwan goes to these so-called mystics. And I'm thinking that, my thinking is that maybe their family was the first to discover this artifact, maybe, or just their people in general. And maybe they are like the protectors of that artifact, and that's kind of why they wanted to make sure the UNSC stayed off their planet, because maybe they didn't want this thing getting into the UNSC's hands. this key that can lead to the Halo ring. So maybe that's the secret he learned, which means he's been fighting a completely different battle, if that is the case, than Kwan has perceived. Like, everything, I kind of was saying earlier, if it makes it into the edit or anything like that, is just that she has this idea of what this whole thing has been about, and it's like this idealistic echo chamber idea that she has about the rebellion and what her father stood for and how their followers looked up to them, and maybe they did at some point in some way, but it's just like this naivete that like comes from this like drive that she's got, this sense of purpose that she has, or at least that's all that she's left with. And then at every turn that's being challenged, and I'm just curious to see where her story is going to go. And I'm wondering if should she touch the artifact, will it react? See, like where Chief interacted with this thing at a young age initially, I'm wondering if that imprinted onto him, the cornerstone, or whatever you would want to call it. You know, we got the keystone and we got the slab that it goes into. Maybe interacting with that, or one of those, is what awakens this ability. So at first they kind of definitely was setting it up and framing it that Kai removing that chip might be part of it, but that was a subtle lead in and then a fake out with that, which it just raises more questions. The whole thing with John continuing to see these visions is interesting, but I still don't know where that's going, but it's a way to feed him the truth about Halsey to provide that tension there between the two even further, to kind of put Halsey in an uncomfortable position, like Miranda has been talking about. You know, when things don't go according to plan, when things go crazy, like she tries to rein it in, but her curiosity gets the best out of her a little bit. In this situation right now, she's letting John roll with it for now, but you can see in every scene, every time John does something unusual or something she's not sure what's going on, she is sweating bullets, and it's hilarious. And again, you know, I think that zoom in right there is she thinks John's getting too close to something she doesn't necessarily want him interacting with or learning about, particularly how she keeps gaslighting him about the past and his memories and what he's seen, and her, when did she actually meet John? It was definitely here. Continuing to gaslight him to try to keep him out of knowing and realizing the truth that they were probably the reason his parents died, you know, and he was taken, you know, prospected, you know, scouted, and then are like, all right, and we're going to take you now for our little program. Learning about some of the training mechanisms that the Spartans went through to desensitize them and bond them to their unit is interesting. I don't remember that being explored, that as far as like what I can recall from. I mean, it's been a long time since I've read Reach, but like, I don't think animal partners ever came up, but that's an interesting way to kind of attach them like that. And it definitely feels like a Halsey move to like fracture and remove any of this hesitation or humanity from them in like these subconscious ways. I don't know. It was interesting. I kind of feel like there was a little imbalance in what we were focusing on. There was definitely a heavy focus on Kwan's homecoming. I really wanted to spend more time with John, and I definitely wanted to spend more time with Kai, actually, to see that, especially her excitement to like, because she can finally feel that, like she's expressing like the rush and the thrill of fighting the Covenant, you know, because that's kind of what all they know. So she's like kind of taking some pride in it. She's feeling joy and kind of like a sense of fun in the heat of combat, and you know, the thrill of turning a Covenant's weapon against its own, the satisfaction of getting that pink mist medal pop up when you're killing a slaying your elites or whatever. I don't know. It was just really interesting, the exploration of that. Again, the production and the art direction on the show, I think, is really phenomenal. Bern Gorman is chewing up the scenery, and curious to see where that pans out and who these mystics are. Going back to the John touching the pillar, because there's got to be a thing that makes him special and makes the Blessed One special. Why they, in particular, have this ability. And the two having kind of dreamed of one another. Or at least John dreaming of her. Or maybe I think I'm projecting that. I think he was only dreaming about the thing. I can't remember. Did she pop up in his dreams? I feel like something... I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, their connection, like what happened to them or what were they born with that makes them able to open it. I'm curious to see what they're going to say here. And I'm really curious. I don't know. This was a fun episode in a very different way. The last one was very slow and character driven, and this one had a lot of that as well. There was a lot of character beats in this. There's a lot of like visual exposition, I think, as well, which was really interesting to see the information we needed to know rather than having it be told to us. Except for Kwan's side, everything there had to definitely be told to us. That assassin scene was cool, and like Soren just popping in, hey, like that, just a little like clip of him just like popping out of the corner and just like, hey, with the gun. God, it cracked me up, and then blasted that assassin out the window, and they did that hop down the sides. That was cool. But yeah, I like how brutal the show can get. It's not afraid to, go that road, especially with what happened to the aunt. So I don't know, man. I'm digging it. Though I don't know what the repercussions is going to be from another Spartan in this team being able to feel. Halsey's not going to like that when that comes out, if it will. The pellet it didn't actually drain. It just fell into that like little catch. So I'm wondering if somebody's going to find it and maybe call her out on having removed hers. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm intrigued in the Spartan plots, man. I don't know. I just that Miranda and John stuff. The Kwan thing, I need to settle into what this is about. How does this tie into the greater narrative? We're not there yet. And so far, just everything with her storyline outside of her interactions with John, everything after she was dropped off at Soren's kingdom. Can't remember what that place was called. Ever since she's been dropped off there, like I've just been kind of disinterested. I'm not going to lie. And a lot of that is just her whole like attitude and air about this resistance over the literal extinction of the human race. Ironically enough, that is, I guess, where this is going to end up leading there to. Like, I'm assuming, like I said, their mystical mission of her family was to be involved in this war unknowingly. And like I said, I think she's going to get a flipping of her perspective and priorities to put her on the right page that gets her lined up with the story itself. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just like her irrational naiveness. It's like, it's rubbing me the wrong way. So it's just a little much. It's a little much. Like, I'm right there I think I'm vibing on the same level with Soren at this point. But yeah, man, I think this was another solid episode. So far, the only one that I have not vibed with whatsoever has been episode 2. I mean, it had some moments in it that I did enjoy, but episode 2 definitely was just like felt like a little bit of a slog to get through for me. But episode 1, I really enjoyed. Episode 3, I really enjoyed. That's been my favorite episode so far. And this one, I think, is right up there as well. But guys, that's all I got for now. I'm going to pass it off to you. Tell me your thoughts, your theories, your interpretations of everything in this episode. Drop those down in the comments. I'd love to read them. Join us in our Discord. We could talk about it there as well. Links to that, as well as all my socials, are down below. Follow me on each and every one of those. I'd really appreciate it. you want to see the full reaction, remember that's on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, gets you access as well. And speaking of, we're going to shout out our channel legends: Manny Sher, Ryan Karen, Philly Vane, Yori Corey Scott, Margaret Grace, Mary Bradley, Nate Prouty, and Melita. Thank you guys, as always, for continuing to support the channel, as well as everybody who's been tuning in. Thank you everybody who's been participating in the conversation and supporting this series and following along together. Thank you guys. But that's it for this one. I'll see you next week with the next episode of Halo, the series. Take care, everybody.